So far in our simple application, we can select a number and that number is gonna be presented as selected. However, as we are adding these features, we are also introducing problems. For example, we did nothing to say that a number that is selected can't be reselected, right? But we don't have any visibility into these problems. One tool that really helps in adding some visibility to the problems that you have in code is React DevTools. This React DevTools that is hosted on this GitHub repo gives us this visual screen that we can use to interact with the application and see what is going on when we do. In a web-based React project, we can just install a browser extension and get this React Dev tool to work, but with React Native, we need to use the standalone version of React DevTools. We can do that by simply installing globally React DevTools. And as you can tell, React DevTools is actually an Electron app. So once the React DevTools package is installed, we fire it up with the command React DevTools, which is now available globally. And you can see immediately how the React DevTools recognized our application. And now we have our application right here with all the random numbers, and the state of our game component is in here. So let me show you why we have a problem. Okay, we click on the first element. Now we can see the selected element array. We click on the last element and it gets added to the selected numbers array. Let me click back on the first element and it is added back. And now we have a duplicate value in the selected numbers array. We basically selected the first element twice. So this should not happen. We need to fix this because otherwise the logic of the game is going to be flawed. So as you can see, this tool is really helpful in having the visibility into these problems. And I would go as far as saying that really developing any React applications without this dev tool is counterproductive. This is one of the tools that you have to absolutely take advantage of, because otherwise you will simply be moving at a much, much slower pace. Okay, so how do we fix this problem? How do we prevent a number from being selected multiple times? You might say that since I have the select number behavior here, and I can compute the isNumberSelected, I can drop in here and have an if statement that says if the number is already selected, do not select it. However, this feels like the wrong place for this abstraction, because select number, as I named it, is a function that will just select the number. It's not a function that says select number if the number is not selected, right? If the name was so, if the name was select the number if the number was not selected, then maybe that if logic statement belongs here. The place where I think this logic belongs is inside the random number component. And the random number component can absolutely decide on this logic. And the reason is, it's basically part of handling the press for this random number. If this random number is disabled, note, not is selected, because we named it is disabled. If it's disabled, I should not be invoking the behavior for onPress. So the if statement belongs right here. If this.props.is disabled, then do nothing. Otherwise, call the actual onPress behavior for this number. Let's verify that this solved the problem. Here's my game component. Here's the selected numbers array. Click the 3. Click the 3 again. Nothing. Click the 5. Yes. Index number 2 was selected. Click it again. Nothing. The other thing about having this visual confirmation is that you should not really be testing the code without any visual confirmation. You can definitely do the visual confirmation through console logs, but this tool will make the visual confirmation a lot easier with fast feedback loop, and you don't need to add console log statements anywhere in the code.